This is an issue that I feel very strongly about. We're here at Shuman Center today because tomorrow is at risk with our children. I'd like to talk to you about why I feel that way, and more importantly, what we can really do about it. We have a serious problem, and it has gone unaddressed. And I appreciate that the county executive has just announced that he's taken notice of this, and I'm sure it is a result of us being here today. Too often young lives are being harmed or taken, and it's too often that young people are in danger. We need resources and we need leadership, and we need it now. The reality is our children need opportunities, and sometimes they need second opportunities. Not every young offender needs to be incarcerated, and we need to work towards implementing systems that allow grace. Diversionary courts, special counseling. For many low-level offenders, there's a way back to that path. And with diversionary ideas, we can do mental health courts, monitoring programs, truancy prevention, and intervention programs. This could reduce the stigma and labeling of being an incarcerated child. It could provide opportunities to not come with having a record for the rest of your life. It could reduce the cost of the system by avoiding probation and incarceration. We could stop the cycle of recidivism, and we could lower the caseload of the justice system. Others need solutions. We're standing here today in front of the Shuman Center that was permanently closed in 2021. I support that decision when they did close it because the facility needs help. It needs leadership. And I recognize that just packing up and closing the doors is just not the way to do it. You know, just a few weeks ago, there was a 14-year-old, I believe in Carrick, that was on probation on an ankle bracelet. Took the bracelet off, went outside and committed a homicide on a 17-year-old. Came back in and put the ankle bracelet on. Killed and murdered the other teenager. That would have not happened if we had the appropriate facilities for that 14-year-old child. And we don't. The time is to act now. Shuman Center has an understandably terrible reputation. It needs renovation. It needs fantastic caretakers. It needs to be reimagined. It needs to be a place where young offenders aren't just housed, but they're given the resources that they need to succeed in life. Education, mental health, substance abuse, and workforce development and job training. I want to partner with the building trades here in Western Pennsylvania to have the carpenters come in here, have the electricians come in here, have the steam fitters come in here, have the painters come in and show these children that there's other opportunities for them in life that they can make a career out of. This cannot be a place for just detention. It must be for development. It must be a place where we can show kids the path to a better future. We can do that. We have the resources and we have the wherewithal. We just need the vision. That's why I'm calling on the county to step up and make the steps happen towards justice, not just towards justice, but towards rehabilitation. We need this and we need it now. I would like to call up Council President Pat Katina, who is introducing legislation on Friday about retooling, revamping, and reimagining Shuman Center for Allegheny County.
Thank you.
Council.
Thank you, Mr. Treasurer. It's a pleasure to be here today. I stand before this building that was shut down in 2021. Now it's 2023, and we still don't have an answer or solution for dealing with juvenile justice. We need to step forward and step up immediately. This is Allegheny County, one of the greatest counties, and obviously in all of the state of Pennsylvania. And we allow this to sit behind us unused and allow, unfortunately, children to die out there on our streets. As the county treasurer said, we need to reimagine this for the future. What does juvenile justice, what does juvenile education, and what does getting these children integrated back into our society after they make a mistake? What does that all look like? I don't know, but that's what we need to get to, and that's where we need to be at the end of the day. And it needs to happen, like I said, sooner than later. We can't sit on this any longer. And I'm going to work with County Council on developing legislation to address this and move this forward so that we can, like I said, help the children, help get them off the streets, help them get them on the right path moving forward. Thank you, Mr. Treasurer.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you coming. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Yes.
We've seen a huge uptick in juvenile crime. I think of the awful shooting outside of the funeral in Brighton Heights.
Yes.
One example. That was another situation where a kid was wearing an ankle monitor, took it off, went and committed the crime. Kind of came in and out, revolving door of the court system. Do you believe all of this crime is because the Shuman Center closed?
No, it's not because of it, but there's nowhere to send them. When I've spoken to so many judges here in Allegheny County, and when children commit a crime, they have to send them back home. You can't send a 13-year-old into county jail. We need a facility. We have 1.3 million people that live in Allegheny County, and when they closed this facility, there was no plan. You can't just shut something down and have nowhere to go for kids that need help. And if we could turn this facility into the type of organization that it should be, it's about redefining it, redeveloping it, and helping them. Not just sitting in a cell looking at the walls for 8 hours. That's not going to work. We have to really try everything that we can to help these children succeed in life. And if we save one child from a life of crime, then it's been well worth it.
You indicated that you believe that the county executive's announcement today to try to move forward on this issue is because you're appearing here today. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, Bob, I would think we sent a release out yesterday, and all of a sudden Rich Fitzgerald made an announcement about allocating an issue in funds for retooling Shuman Center. I would think it's a pretty unique coincidence, but I applaud the fact that he's done this. We can't wait till we have a new executive come in office in January. We need to do something about this now.
Do you fault him for not taking the action that he announced today sooner?
Well, I think the county should have had a plan. When they shut this down, they should have had a plan. And I've been working very closely with council. The Shuman budget was about $11 or $12 million. They have that money allocated. They could have had an alternate plan when they shut this facility down. This facility was shut down because of poor leadership, multiple state violations. Instead of correcting the violations, they just shut the facility down, and that's not helping the community whatsoever.
Do you think it needs to be publicly run?
I think the county should continue to run this, absolutely, and put the resources into it that we need. The facility needs remodeled. We can't go inside now, but it's not a nice place to come, and we need to fix it up inside and outside. But you have to have the programs here that help the students and help the kids, and that's where we're losing the connection. We need people for counseling. We need educators. We need teachers here. We need mental health professionals. We need drug professionals. We need everything that we can all in one facility to help these kids. We have to stop kids from shooting each other and murdering each other. It's terrible, and I've never seen anything like this. I've lived here my whole life, and we have to take action to do something about this.
When the facility closed, there were only 12 kids in the facility. Is that the size you imagine it would be if it reopens?
No, I would think it would be much larger than that, and prepared for that. And even if we could partner with other counties if they need help, Beaver County or Butler County or Washington County, some of the other areas that have trouble use and somewhere to send them, well, they could send them here as well in this facility. But I want to rebrand it and reimagine it. Shuman Center has a bad connotation. I think we should turn the whole thing around and make it a very progressive and helpful area for young people that need help. They're crying out. You can see this, and it has to stop.
If leaders are able to work together and come up with a solution to reimagine this space, what's the timeline you would expect for there to be some action and kids being able to actually come here?
That's a great question, and I hope that we could expedite this through council and the county executive and all of us working together to get this facility up and running and open as soon as possible. And we will have to partner with the state, because the state issues the license to operate here. But the violations all have to be corrected. You have to have staff. You have to have everything ready to go. That's why we can't wait till January till we have a new executive. This has to be done now.
How would you put together kind of like a worthwhile work training program when the amount of time kids are here is generally pretty short?
It is short, but if you had the counselors here and you had the opportunity to work with the building trades, as I mentioned, they could come here weekly and talk to the kids that are here and explain to them, you have an opportunity. If you don't want to go to college, you could become a plumber, you could become an electrician, you could become a painter or a carpenter. There's so many opportunities here. And I think we have to expose the children to all of that, because college isn't for everyone. And if we have to get them on the path of a career and not a path of crime. And we have to use the resources that we have as the county to be able to facilitate that, work with the courts, work with everyone that has an interest in this. Did you have a question? No, okay. Any other questions? Thank you so much for coming this morning. We appreciate it very much, and we're going to stay on this. This is very, very important for the future of our young people in Allegheny County. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Pat.